Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Not that long ago I received my 10980XC Cascade Lake-X back from Samsa. If you know him, he's a famous Finnish guy in the IT scene who currently runs the biggest ID site here in Finland called IO Tech. So I lent the CPU to him for some time so that he could make the Cascade Lake-X review, because those CPUs are extremely hard to get, even for big IT media sites like theirs. So I lent that for some time, and now I got it back. And we had some issues on with the Cascade Lake-X, so now I'm actually trying a new special BIOS for the Cascade Lake-X CPU. So this is based on the very original BIOS. It doesn't have any of the like the Spectre meltdown security things, because they do reduce your performance at least a bit. Of course, if you ask from any like professional, they would advise any normal user to use those BIOSes with those security patches, but they do have some harmful effect on performance. So I don't want them. So I'm using this special BIOS now. So I will test how the CPU runs now. I've always wanted to do 3800 CAS 11. It's very hard to do. It requires very good IMC. I know that 3733 11 1110 is very well possible with most of the CPUs out there, but like 3800 CAS 11 or 4000 plus 12 11 11, they are very hard to do without a really nice IMC. Still the best I ever did was 4133 12 11 11 on X299 Dark with the 12-core Skylake-X CPU, the 7920X. That had an amazing IMC. But yeah, so and actually even 4200 was posting to some degree with that CPU, so it was really amazing. Quad channel, remember that? But yeah, so nothing else, completely same rig. So 10980XC, 4 sticks of Samsung B-Die, earlier PCB revision, Superflower 2000 watt power supply, simple SSD, and Galaxy 710 GT to display the monitor. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I will try the CPU part first, and then memory. I think this will be available for download at the EVGA OC Lab forums and maybe xdevs.com. I'm not sure about xdevs, as Thin is no longer that active in the EVGA scene, at least for now, so it might not be available there for download, but we will see. Alright, so here's how the BIOS looks like. So you can actually notice that this special BIOS for the Cascade Lake-X, it has the same layout as the very original BIOSes. Last autumn the overall layout changed when they released the new BIOSes, like the official BIOSes for the new CPU parts. So this BIOS is only working for Cascade Lake-X. I tried to post this with 17900X and it refuses to post. So this only works for Cascade Lake-X so far. So let's try to run 5 GHz. So manual ratio limit 50 on the all-core ratio limit, 34 on the mesh, 0 on the AVX negative offsets, 100 base clock, enabled extreme voltage mode for high memory voltage, 1.9 on input. For 5 GHz, let's try 1.24. Let's see if it does that. 1.35 on the vMesh. Disabled vDroop, so we have LLC or load line calibration enabled. SA is not used. 1.3 on I/O. 375 on internal system agent or Anchor voltage offset. Memory is 3800, 1.88 volts, 12, 11, 10, 28. And then all the subtimings are pretty tight, as you can see. Then if you want to use the debug LED monitoring, you can choose what you want to run. Right now I have set it at I've set it to CPU VRM. If I was an LN2, I would set it at CPU die, so that we could follow if the thermal paste is still good and not cracked. And I have disabled the unnecessary onboard devices for this test, so like LAN, audio, and so on. Of course, for daily use, you want to keep them on. I think nothing. I will disable virtualization, but doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, UEFI as we use Windows 10, F10, and exit. And here I passed 5 GHz very easily at 1.24 volts, as I said, 1.239 measured by CPU-Z, 5 GHz, 3800 MEMS, 3.4 on the mesh. So I actually ran the test in real-time priority, so I don't know the temperatures, but we can test that. I think it's quite on the edge though, so it might not pass on the second time. Because when you run Cinebench in real time, it, at least for me, you can pass it a little bit easier when it's set at real time compared to normal or high. So, for example, if you are constantly crashing when you haven't changed the priority, if you set it to real time, it might pass. So, just saying. So, this might crash, so I'm not sure. It's like 78. Like 8, yeah, it passed. Very easy. 50-40 is the score. Hardest core was 80 degrees. Fourth and third last core were 80 degrees, but the range is quite high, from 66 all the way to 80. I'm not fully sure if this mount is the best possible. The IHS is not lapped. It's not that even when I always checked the thermal paste spreading after removing the cooler, so I'm not that confident that it's really good. So I could do a lap process later on the CPU. So I'm not sure if this works for voltage, for changing the voltage. I'm not sure at all. Sometimes it crashes, so I could try 1.23. So mesh. Yeah, it hangs. So yeah, there's still some issues with this Elite, as the newest doesn't work for some reason. And this is probably the lowest voltage I can do. So 5 GHz R15 at 1.22 volts, as you can see on CPU-Z. It failed once, second time passed, so I think this is the lowest one. Same score, 5040, same mesh, same memory, and temperature was ranging from 64 to 77. And I think we could try 35 on the mesh. I think 35 was the max last time. 35. That's actually the core, it's not. Mesh doesn't crash that way. And now I finally passed, so 5 GHz on the core, 1.22 volts. This is definitely the lowest vcore I can do. 3.5 on the mesh, 3800, 12, 11, 10. And you can see the BIOS date, so 14th of February 2020. And the score is 5060, and temperature was ranging from 65 all the way up to 77 degrees Celsius. So yeah, 3.5 is the max on the mesh, I think. Maybe 3.6 for just Cinebench, I'm not sure. At least for very memory tight tests like Geekbench. Wait, VCL setting error. What's that? Three, 6. Okay. Now it should change, so 3.6. So yeah, 3.5 is the max. And now I think I could just try the memory. 5.1, it should be able to do it around 1.3 volts, but temperatures are a bit of an issue. So 5.1 at 1.31 volts. Let's try. So yeah, passed. 5.142. Max temp was 93 degrees, at least 4 of the cores went 90 or above. So yeah, it's on the edge, so 1.31 volts. So yeah, 5.2 I will definitely not try. So now let's try. Now we can try. Now we should try the memory. Okay, so let's try with current IMC voltages. So 3800, 12, 11, 10. This I have tried many times, so it's definitely like certain. But CAS 11 would be very amazing at 3800 megahertz, but it's really hard. You need to have a very strong IMC in order to do it. It's same thing as trying 4000 plus, 12, 11, 11. I have had many Skylake-X CPUs, and the 7920X was definitely above all others in terms of IMC quality. I haven't got any close to those results I got with the 7920X on any of the other Skylake-X CPUs I've had. So there is some significant difference between the IMC quality between chips. Just bear that in mind. So let's try. Let's do a quick attempt with these first. I lowered the mesh to 34. So now we know that 35 is the max. Okay, running again. 5.1, 34 mesh, 3800, 12, 11, 10. The hardest part for CPU is DFFT. That is when there's the hottest load, the toughest load in terms of temperatures. Now 91, 90, 94 degrees, 93 degrees. Good score, 92,086. Temperatures are really hard, so 94, 90, 93 and 94 degrees were the toughest temperatures or hardest temperatures. So 10,340 memory score with 12, 11, 10. It's quite good, but would like to get even a bit better than this. So let's try CAS 11. Okay, so this should work quite well. So 3733, 1.95 volts on both sides. 12, I mean 11, 11, 10, 26. This could be even a bit lower, but doesn't matter that much. And same sub-timings, 400 internal system agent and 1.25 I/O. So this should work. But when you try 3800 above, and it becomes very, very hard. And you cannot go too high on the memory voltage either. They become unstable after some point. But yeah, let's try this. And here I have a pass score of 91,424. But the memory score isn't actually any better, so 10,384, 5.1, 3.4 mesh, 3.733, 11, 11, 10, 26. The memory score does go up once your CPU speed goes up significantly. For example, when you run the CPU on LN2. So I don't think, even if I managed to pass 3800 same timings, it wouldn't go that much higher at all. I think there's something else like bottlenecking the memory score as well at the CPU, but yeah. So 3733 passed, 1.95 voltage did not pass with these sticks, but 1.98 passes. So 3800 will need over 2 volts based on this, so it's not easy at all. I already tried it a lot, and it's not easy. Like, it fails at Dijkstra, like around 25 to 26 seconds. So it almost passes the hardest part for the memory. So it's very on the edge, but I don't know. It seems to be the limit so far. Can try it one more time. So 3800. Can try 2.15. 11, 11, 20, and 10, 26. So yeah, I think it will fail again at Dijkstra. Lua. Yeah, so it's very on the edge. I'll try one more time, but I don't think it will pass. I might try to switch the sticks around a little bit, see if it helps, but so yeah, it's not easy at all. Okay, this is very interesting. So now I tried something I have never tried before. So as 3800 CAS11 was pretty much a no-go, I tried to switch the sticks around. So I tried different combinations of kits, but it was a no-go. So always it would crash at like 25 to 26 seconds of the test during Dijkstra, like 1 second before that part should end. Then I also tried 4000, 12, 11, 11, but it was even worse. So that requires a really good IMC, because I have confirmed my kits that they can do 4000 very, very easily on X299 with the 7920X, because that had an amazing IMC. And even 4133 Buildsoid showed that score in one of his videos on Gamers Nexus channel. But now I tried something different. So we have a score of 92,012. Memory score is slightly under 10,500. That is amazing memory score for like ambient cooled result. CPU is 5.1 GHz. X299 Dark, the latest beta BIOS. But look at that. So 3.4 on the mesh and 3800 MHz, but 12, 11, 9. Then TRAS is 26 and TRFC is 180. So I tried to get the 3800 CAS12 as tight as possible, and it seems that it can even do TRP of 9, which is very, very amazing. Of course, it starts to require quite a lot of memory voltage, so this required 2 volts on the memory. So it's likely that this isn't stable in everything, like some 3D tests. Because this will be stable in only those situations where 2 GB of memory capacity per used memory stick is enough. So that means on mainstream channel 4 GB max, on X299 that means 8 GB, and on 3647 that means 6 times 2, so or 6 times 6 times 2, so 12 gigabytes. Because the weird thing about Samsung Beta is that when you go beyond some specific point, you have to limit the memory to 2 gigabytes per stick in order to maintain the proper stability. So I have limited the memory to 4 gigs at the moment, but I could go up to 8 gigabytes, but this is enough for these tests. So 3000, 12, 11, 9, very nice. 10,500 almost, so that is definitely the highest score I've ever seen on like air or water cooling. So on LN2 this would be like 11,300, 11,400 I think, at least 11,000 anyways. So that's very, very nice. So I think I will just show you the the settings, and you can try these yourself if you want to. I'm sure this BIOS will be available for download on the EVGA OC Lab forums, because of course we want, and EVGA wants that the users have the best possible tools to push this platform and motherboard to the absolute limit, because this seems to be quite good for the Cascade Lake-X. But anyways, so here you can see the settings. So 3000 megahertz, 2 volts on both sides, 12, 11, 9, 26 on TRAS. This can actually go lower, like 24, even 21. 4 active window, 12 is the lowest setting you can run. I tried 11 and it hangs at a certain point, so 12 is the lowest value you can usually run. 180 on TRFC works fine at 3000 megahertz. Usually we run 240, but so far 180 worked well. These are tied to the cache latency, as I already said before, so 3 and 8 are the lowest I can run. Then I tightened the thirds a little bit, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 4, 2, and 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 7. Maybe can tighten these even a little bit more, but this is already very, very tight. So you can use these if you want. 2 volts on the memory. It depends on your kits, like how good they are, but this is already very, very hard to get. So you will not be able to run these at this voltage on very like average kits. You need to have really good selected memory kits if you want to run something like this. CPU speed of course depends on your CPU, and same goes for mesh. And here you can see I have 1.25 on SA and IO and 450 on the Encore voltage offset. So these are the settings, and I will save them. We'll see if we have any like implemented BIOS profiles for this BIOS. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Not that special video. This BIOS only works for Cascade Lake-X CPUs, as I said. If you like to see this short video where I test the Cascade Lake-X once again, as it was away from me for a good while, then please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.